Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Friday, October the 14th, starting with Ethereum here, as we have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 down here. This wave 5 is a little bit short compared to wave 3 and wave 1 here, so there is the opportunity for this to be wave 1 here, with wave 2 coming back and then having 3, 4 and 5 here. Okay, so that's a possibility. So we could say that we can have a closer look at this in a moment. We're at 1330 here at the moment. So if we come to the closest largest number, which I mean 1400 is that number, and that we may need to use that, but we could probably get an early signal at 1350 if I can put that line on there, close enough. So if we got support on 1350 here with the classic trading levels pattern sitting on here, then it's probably likely we got a low in place and we would have to look higher at this point. The takeaway here though is that it does appear that this is a 5-wave structure here. There's probably, I don't see how you could count it otherwise. There is 5 waves in this move here. So it does, and this is a typical wave 4 here. The problem is it's just a little bit short. So it's possible that it can come into these old highs here around 1350, maybe a bit higher, 1356 or something, and then have waves 3, 4 and 5, and we'll have to move this down to here at that point, right? So that's possible. But otherwise, if that's not the case, then we'll have to look out for blue wave 2 back up at the 1600. And the takeaway here is that we still have 5 waves here, so that means we would look at a corrective move to the upside. Is it possible that we could put wave 4 over here and look at this as some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave? I just can't get the B wave out of this though, you know. I could force it, but I don't like forcing the situation because it rarely works out, you know. And also too, we need to take all this in line with what's happening in the rest of the world as well, because all the markets are tending to move together a little bit. And if you've watched the S&P video, you'll know the dilemma of us working with this particular little push up here. It's the same thing. It can go higher. It could also just be a wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we need that impulse wave to sort itself out, and that will do that in the next session. And things tend to tire out a little bit. There was a news event and it was powerful, and then it slows down. Everybody that was going to get in is in, and there's no one else to get in, so then it can roll over at that point. So there is still a bit more high to go in all of this, because I know that from the US stocks, some of those stocks haven't finished their structures to the upside. So it's likely, there's a good chance that we can have this in as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and push up for wave 2 here. So getting support on the 1350 here would pretty much sort of cement a higher move in here, of course. Any move above these this wave 4 top here, or this wave 4 top, then you can, whatever that top is there, that's technically what we should be doing, is putting that on there. I'm just trying to get a bit of an earlier entry into that. And obviously we get to the 14 there as well, so the 14 can be the resistance in here. And could this be some other sort of stranger wave 4 and put this over here in some terms of an A wave here, an ABC for the A wave, a B wave and a C wave down here for this, and up for another C wave here, so an A, B and C up here or something? Possibly, doubtful, but anyway, we'll give it a session. I just wanted to point out that the two important things here is we do have a new low now, so we do have 5 waves down here. I'm sure that you could push it in as a corrective wave, but you'll be forcing it to go the distance there. So we just got to work out if we're going to this point. You know, there will be folks looking at this as an impulse wave to the upside, and then an ABC back, but I can't get the ABC back in a fair enough way to do that. So, but we should be pushing up here. And when we look at Bitcoin doing the same thing as well, I know that folks aren't happy with this count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We still haven't made a new low below here, but we also haven't done that with Ethereum as well. We haven't made a new low down here either for that. So we do have this 5-wave structure here, and you know, if we impose that over here for this one, can we bring that across here further? So this move down here, this move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is really the same as this, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's just but ugly, and you know, you could pick holes in it till the cows come home. But it was really about you know, getting that 5 waves down here, even though it was pretty ugly, but we could see it over here. We could see it in other markets as well. So we can put that wave 5 low in here. There is also the you know, if it makes a move above this wave 4 here, then you know that we'll be going up into this wave 2 over here, okay? But while it's under this, while it's here, it could be down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and 3, 4, and 5. I don't know that yet, because I can't get any clarity on the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and all that just yet. I need to wait for the impulse wave up here to complete, and once we've got 5 waves up here, then any move above those 5 waves, and we can consider ourselves going higher at that point. But yeah, so if you wanted to go long into this market, then you'd need for this to move up to the 20,000, and when it gets up here to these old highs here in the 20,000, could be below, could be above, whatever the case may be, there'll be some reaction from that price point, right? And that would be the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC pattern. So any long trade in this zone would be on top of the B wave here. So this would be the arrival, the reaction. It's normally the 3rd, 4th, 5th here, then the ABC pattern. So we'd need that to go to the upside. Or if any of these moves here initially, and if these 2 tops here take out that top there, right, that wave 4 top, then you know that you're also bullish at that point there as well. So taking out that top there, in any one of these moves here, you know that you'll be going further up at that point. And that means you could buy back deeper in the pullback at that point, because you know that that you'll be going higher at that point. So look, there's a lot wrong with this particular count, but you know, when you compare it to this one here, it's all nice and neat and tidy, and you know they're basically doing the same thing. So yeah, that's cool. I think at that particular point, nothing really more to add to this. That's the same as the US indices. We need to find out if this once this impulse wave up here finishes, then we need to see if there's going to be any more upside, you know. And the impulse wave really is just a 5 wave structure, so you can go in there and count it. I know it's not finished yet, so I don't need to look at it, but once it is finished, they're in 5 waves and it pulls back, this move here, anything above that, and then it's going to be bullish from that point. And if that counts as 5 waves up, and we go above the fifth wave top here, then you know that you're going up further at that point. Okay, so that's where we are at this stage with this. So I don't need to put these on here, but that's what you would be looking for at that point. So yeah, I know this is but ugly, this particular count, but it's in line with Ethereum here, and let's just see. I mean, the other takeaway point here too, by the by, is that we have 5 waves down here, and we haven't made a low here yet. So looking at this as an A and a B and a C wave up here for wave 2, and then coming down here, I think is pretty reasonable assumption, you know. But as always, we have to just go step by step, and some of the steps are clear and some are not. Like, we knew that this was a 4th wave, we knew that would make a low. The question was, would we get 5, and still will we get 5 waves down here for that? Because we know it's a bit short at the moment, but like I said, markets just don't finish, you know, begin and finish the way that you would like them to all the time. You know, they seem to always catch you out. So you have to be aware of these sorts of things. But let's just see how the cookie crumbles, and if we get 5 waves down here, well, then we'll go 5 waves down. But the takeaway here is that it's pretty much 5 waves down here. So that means that we haven't taken the low out, so we can't call it, you know, we can't call it this, we can't put wave 5 here, you know what I'm saying? We still need to get 5 waves here. So this is probably just, you know, this 3rd wave here will be longer than this one, so we could add another 60% onto that, you know, and that will be down here somewhere. So that will be, and this will be in line with the stock market. This is what the stock market is doing. We're just trying to sort of, and the banks and everything else, we're just trying to figure out, are we going into wave 2 now? Or are we, have we finished with this leg here? That's what we're trying to figure out. And we need this internal structure here to finish. So we can figure it out. It'll take one session at least, maybe 2, but it won't be long, and then we'll sort it out. And even so, if we get this one, if we are going back up here, well, I'm happy with that. Sooner the better. We can get this one over and done with and get on, onto this, the better, the quicker the whole thing's over, the better still, But this is what this would be here. This would be like 5 waves down here, and now we've got the first wave. This is the same as the banks, US, same as Goldman's and Morgan's and all the rest of it, and the same with, most of the tech, not all the tech stocks, some of them are different, but this is pretty much the pattern. So yeah, look, I don't have an answer, just I can't I can't resolve that little situation in here just yet, but be mindful, it can be 1 and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. Or we're going to be going up for the ABC. We'll know in about two sessions. Alrighty, cheers.